Alright, Martin.
Okay, let's start. Welcome to the Escape the Internet tour.
How many guitar players do we have here tonight? Ooh.
We have Charles, Bernth and Ola here.
I'm Charles, yes.
How many bass players do we have here tonight?
Wow.
Yeah.
This is not a vlog. Thank you. Thank you so much. I lived in this bus for 1 month.
This tour is ass.
Oh, this tour is ass.
Every day I woke up in a different country. But not just me, also the 3 biggest musicians on YouTube. 4 million combined subscribers. Charles, Berthoud, Ola Englund, and of course Bernth.
It's very cold. It's also windy. I'm eating my hair.
I had to make sure we arrive everywhere on time, nobody starves to death.
Pizza every day. It's the best. Yeah, I think it was like every other show. 10 pizzas on this tour.
I also had to make sure our great crew is able to set up the stage every day. Martin is setting up because Marcus is useless. So here is useless Marcus. No, Marcus is great. Oh, and I had the honors to be part of the show.
Good to be at a sold out show.
But after all of that, I was facing an even harder challenge. How to make a vlog that is not boring. Because in my opinion, the world can't handle another tour documentary that goes like this.
We just played a gig here in Paris, and this is...
Or this.
Pretty insane content, changing streams.
I worked through all the videos to find the most interesting stories, so please don't subscribe to this channel unless this video was entertaining for you.
Some audiences are not prepared for comedy.
Let me share the most interesting stories from this tour. What's with the shaving situation?
I brought no shaver. That's the situation.
You look fresh.
Yeah, you can borrow mine.
How many cities have we actually traveled to on this tour? It's actually absolutely impossible to tell you everything we've experienced unless I would make a real-time vlog, so I won't even try to go through this tour chronologically. I will tell you a bunch of stories about this tour, and one more bonus. No, the best story is not at the very end. Just watch until it stops being entertaining. But honestly, please tell me in the comments which story was your favorite. I would really like to know. How is it actually to go on tour and live in a bus for several weeks?
This is Bernth.
That's such enthusiasm.
This is Bernth.
If you just take a quick look and you see a fancy tour bus, a lot of happy fans at signing sessions or even some sold out shows, you might think we're a bunch of rock stars enjoying life to the fullest. This is what people think is happening backstage.
We're like a big family, a Swedish,
Cross, Austrian,
British,
German,
Austrian.
There is a major amount of situations that are not fancy at all.
This is yesterday
It's
was
about
weird.
to explode.
First of all, you sleep in a moving vehicle with 12 other persons. It's not rocket science that this might not result in the most relaxing sleep of your life. Several times a day you hit your head or other parts of your body because you were on the toilet or making coffee while the driver had to hit the brakes. On our off day in Hamburg, the heating system broke down and it got really cold in the bus. Luckily, we had 2 amazing bus drivers, Roland and Heiko, from the great bus company Blackliner that took great care of us. This is super important and not always the case. They were driving very carefully and often very slowly, just so we can get enough sleep. They also cleaned our bus every day and made our beds, so big thank you to Blackliner and their amazing crew. One of the most unpopular parts of each show day is the loading.
The loading out is always fun.
Each day this is a gentle reminder that touring is actually hard work. Basically, we have to get all of our equipment and merchandise into the venue and of course back in the bus after the show. In our case, everybody was helping, including Bernth, Charles and Ola. Hey everybody! Loading was sometimes easier, sometimes harder. But let me point out 2 shows where the loading situation was very interesting.
We're in Poland today and the weather is nice. It's good.
Number 1, Warsaw in Poland, Club Niebo. This is a very nice club in the city center. Usually they have DJs and club life going on. Even after our show we had to leave as soon as possible so the DJ can set up and the night party can start. But even worse, our buses had to park outside the city because there's simply no space for a full nightliner in front of the club, and we had to do a crossload.
Martin is filming me. We're doing a cross-loading right here.
This means we have to unload our trailer into a local truck, drive to the venue for half an hour, and unload everything again. This is not unusual and happened several times on this tour actually.
It's the longest loading way ever.
But at the Club Niebo in Warsaw, the truck had to park approximately 300 meters away from the stage, and the loading way was, well, not perfectly awesome for our gear and cases. And the snow, well, you could tell we did not enjoy this at all.
So I'm here at the French customs. We just finished a carnet which you need to transfer your instruments from the UK to France. And they asked me a question, the only question I don't have an answer to, like, what's the name of your band? I don't know.
Second loading highlight of this tour was Paris. We played at the La Maroquinerie. We played at this club, and the bus was only allowed to stay in the middle of the street, 150 meters away from the venue.
So we have to load over here, and the venue is over there.
And only for the load out and load in. So we had to leave right away, and we couldn't access the bus all day long. The street was not flat at all, and we had to make sure our cases don't drive away or hit other cars or trucks. But at least I made sure the bus was parking uphill when unloading and downhill when loading the trailer after the show. So at least gravity helped us a little bit with this complicated situation.
I've got a boost pedal, which is pretty boring, so I can skip that, but I've also got this wah pedal.
Besides these two worst loading moments of this whole tour, the two shows were amazing.
Which was your favorite show?
Tonight's show will be the best audience of the...
I think Paris.
Paris was fun.
Paris was actually the biggest surprise.
So we're in this great looking dressing room, also called jail.
Honestly, we were not sure about this show since the sales were okay but not even remotely sold out. But as soon as we hit the stage, we changed our minds immediately.
The greatest moment was Paris, when we walked on stage and everybody was like cheering and didn't stop. It was one of the smaller shows, but it was packed and great energy.
The crowd went insane and didn't stop cheering, and the show hasn't even started.
But we guess we have to fill the night, so what about doing a competition to see what is the superior instrument? Do you like that? We start with round number 1, and it's gonna be swapping instruments. And the hardest part is swapping cables. Let's go.
Oh no.
Everybody was so happy to see Charles and Bernth. The show was so cool, and it was definitely in the top 3 of our favorite shows of the tour.
He said all kinds of horrible things about me, like I'm his favorite bassist on YouTube, which was obviously sarcastic. But, you know, I decided to accept this challenge.
All right, Charles, quite impressive, but come on, we all know guitar is much harder than bass.
That's a good one. But eventually we did manage to set aside our differences and we actually became friends.
And I think that also shows the excitement of people that's come to the shows. It's really been a very pleasant surprise. That type of reaction, I haven't gotten that before with like playing with The Haunted, for instance. So that's really, really cool. Satan.
But before you even enter the tour bus, there's a massive amount of work and pre-production that comes with a tour like this. All the shows were booked by Cobra Agency a year ahead of the tour, and there was a lot to do to make all this happen. The main thing was definitely the Great Escape the Internet music video shoot that took place at my headquarters at the Gasometer in Vienna. Ola Englund and Charles Berthoud flew here to Vienna to shoot this great music video with Bernth and me. We took some great photos, recorded some promotional videos, interviews, reels, stuff like that.
Oh boy, look, there's a button right here. I wonder what it does.
I had to pre-program all the light shows and the videos while Bernth practiced for almost a year, but also did all the backing tracks, visuals for the LED wall, merch designs, you name it. A week before the tour, the 3 of us were rehearsing in this room where I also had the idea for the intro sequence of the show.
I go on stage with this camera and I'm looking for everybody.
Talk to the crowd for a little bit, and then I pretended that I have to go backstage and get the guys on stage.
Good to be at a sold-out show!
Then I'm running off stage into something black, and then it automatically switches to the pre-recorded video. This was kind of tricky because every day the way to the backstage was different, and we had to practice the sequence in every venue.
So everybody is here, nobody's here. Where is everybody? Let me have a look.
I had to find a dark spot to run into with my camera, and that was the moment when the lights went off and the video on the LED wall switched from the live feed of the camera to the actual sequence I've recorded here in this room. What are you doing?
Just replying to comments.
What's with that?
I told you I have to finish today's YouTube video.
Jeez, I told you guys to escape the internet. Not again.
Yeah, I think some audiences are not prepared for comedy. They're not necessarily expecting comedy.
That's true.
So then they think maybe something's actually wrong.
The crowds always loved this skit, and I think it was the perfect fit for the name of this tour. After our rehearsals here in the studio, we went to my warehouse at the Gasometer, where we did several full run-throughs of the show. But this time also with our great drummer Sebastian Lanza and our sound guy Norvin. My guys Chris and Martin built this amazing set, and luckily everything worked out great. Bernd and Charles gonna show us the way to the toilets.
So first what you want to do is open this door. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more helpful tutorials like that.
Also, Ola Englund and his band arrived and had a great time at the rehearsals.
You hear the drums?
Yeah.
While Ola Englund and his band were still rehearsing, my guys were packing up the stuff. My son helped me with some tour manager tasks. Tasks. Task. Really? Charles, how would you pronounce task?
All right, Martin. In Britain, you would say task. In America, task. Something like that.
For example, here you can see us marking each bed with the name, so everybody knows where to go to bed. Ola.
Papa.
Na, Klumpatbed, Junk Bunk.
Auch ein Klumperbett?
Also, we had 2 junk bunks, which basically means nobody sleeps in here, so you can put your suitcases in there. We also had to load in the bus food, the drinks, and make sure we don't forget anything since we're on the road for almost a month. Ja, ist ein fetter Anhänger, gell? Let me take you on a short trip through our favorite venue of the tour. The Tivoli in Utrecht in Netherlands is a gigantic building with 7 venues in total. We're parked in the basement with our bus. You need the elevator card here, right?
Yeah, you need the elevator.
Okay. And there's multiple stages here. From a small open stage over professional modern venues where we played. Today we played a Pandora stage, same like last time with Bernd. This time it's sold out. We're gonna film it, so it's gonna be an amazing day. Up to a big classical orchestra style concert hall. So the show is about to start. But here we can see the artists walking on stage. Best venue ever. You park your buses in the basement and colored lines lead you to your venue. There's a huge buffet-style restaurant for all artists and staff members, and it is amazing how many different nationalities, musicians, crew members and artists are sharing one room.
2,600.
And then when you come here, work. Oh, my back.
Charles found something and he needs to explain it to us.
We might be thinking we're getting booed a lot tonight, but actually it's just Utrecht's way of applauding. Ooh. So even if we make loads of mistakes and mess up a lot, if they start making that sound, it's a good thing.
This show was sold out, and you definitely can tell that the people absolutely love to come here and see music and shows. Ola, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing much. I'm waiting for us to leave in Utrecht. We're at the Tivoli. And we're waiting to leave with the bus to see if my phone is somewhere at this building. If it stays here while we leave, it means that I lost the phone here. If it comes with us, it's in a box somewhere. Woo! Woo! We're standing still, nothing happening. This is my phone 1 minute ago. We're rolling. Hang on. That does not look good.
So exciting. Sorry.
What? Yeah, it's not going with us. I'm so happy right now. I don't know where the phone is, but I think it's with us at least. It's moving.
I myself was not just taking care of the whole organization of the Escape the Internet tour, but I also designed the stage setup and programmed the lights and videos. I have the honor to be a part of the band, and I think I might be the first light designer that participates in the show on stage. Let me show you some details of our setup.
So we're in London.
Every day we're gonna set up this fancy LED wall.
Oh, fancy. It's quite an unusual shape that we have here, right? Based on a vertical video because social media. A lot of those videos are actually 9 by 16 and not 16 by 9, so that's why we chose this size. How do you like it so far?
More or less it's quite okay. It's quite okay.
So no, there's some beer stains here. I guess that was you?
Sure, I was drunk.
Then bomber was off.
Would you join me, please? This nice guy
is called Sam. He's doing a great job so far, I guess. Based on Martin's face, he's very happy.
It's looking good. I mean, yeah, it looks good every night. I love the LED wall.
You mean like this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really close up like that. The dentist will be very, very happy.
The happiness situation just got much worse. So we have this camera with this actually pretty expensive wireless device for 2 jokes on stage.
Bernd has a ridiculous guitar that he took the neck off of.
So this is the famous necklace guitar.
Since I'm running the lights from the stage, I also have to program on stage, which makes it a little bit harder to make sure the focus is right. So I sometimes have to walk into the venue and take a quick look. I have the honors to share the stage with the guys. I'm basically always on this side, operating all the lights, the videos, the music, and also adding some comments to the show. Here I have the control over the videos. I'm running the samples. They're linked with a time code to the lighting desk, which starts the video on the computer. Here I can see a preview of the camera that is down here. It's wireless, and I have all my lights that I control here.
This is Norwin. He was with us on the first tour. His bar of expectation is really low based on his Belfagor tour experience. So I guess he's happy to be here.
I am.
You see a tear. You see the tears.
No, I'm preparing everything audio related, setting up mic.
Bernd, me and Charles have this futuristic cable solution. It's basically in-ear and for the guitar.
This wireless cable.
We're in London and we're gonna have a good show, hopefully. Bradley Hall is coming tonight, so nothing can go wrong.
Bernd hier.
Weichgummi. This is my emergency toilet. In case I wake up and have to take a
Really?
shit. Got close sometimes.
Good night. Good night, Bernd. Since we played in all Scandinavian countries on this tour, we had to take the ferry several times. Sadly, this pretty much always meant getting up super early.
This is what it looks like if you go to a ferry. Always make sure you remember the place of your bus, otherwise you get lost.
On our ride to Finland, we had to get up at 4 a.m., wait until 4:30 for a check-in, to find out that the ferry is delayed until 8. Things like that really mess up your sleeping patterns and do not help when it comes to a possible work-life balance on tour.
Renata is very tired.
But why can't we just stay on the bus and sleep? I mean, we have 12 beds and nothing to do.
You're not allowed to sleep in the bus because if the boat goes down...
You're pretty much trapped in your own expensive coffin, and this sounds like the perfect plot for my biggest nightmare.
Good night.
2 of the ferries were pretty okay. We had always some nice rooms, or at least a nice place to hang out. But the Viking line we took from Finland to Sweden was one of a kind.
We're on our way to Stockholm on this great ferry.
It was more of a luxurious cruise ship, and since the ride took all day, we had an awesome off day with great views, a piano player, good food, a lot of off time, and even a beautiful gym and a great spa. One of my tour manager duties was to make Renata's and Charles' super tired ferry rides a bit more pleasant. I prepared some super weird AI extended photos of them, and since we all were so tired, this was a lot funnier than it actually should be.
Let me present you the highlight of this very tired ride.
Got no sleep last night, so perfect mindset to see some AI art.
So we made these great pictures.
Oh god. What does my base become? It's
like a long
chair.
My hand a long penis.
This looks like an electric chair. My base. Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
I put us on a roller coaster that looks like a base. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So now that you're an expert in ferry rides after 2 nights on a ferry, how did you like it? In Hamburg we had a day off and I was really happy my family had the time to visit me for 2 days. After the 3 of us did a boat trip, some of the crew joined us to visit the miniature wonderland in Hamburg. Last night was incredible.
Such a crazy show. Biggest show of my life.
Days like this mean a lot to me since I miss my 3 favorite people it's actually 2. 2 favorite people a lot when I'm gone for a long time like this. The next day when setting up the gear we got some extra help by my son Frederick.
Ich hab's schon geöffnet, weil man es mit dem Flaschenöffner machen musste.
Ein sehr tolles Service. We focused on lights. So, make sure the LED wall worked.
This tour is ass.
Oh, this tour is ass.
But we also had some tour management to-dos. For example, here I filmed the way to the dressing rooms and put it into our WhatsApp group so everybody knows where to go. Hello everybody, way to the dressing rooms. You come in here from the bus. You go here into the venue. Okay, here is the venue, the way to the dressing rooms. Our main dressing room and catering here to the right. Dryers. The little guy's favorite part of the day was to play with the video feedback of the LED wall and the camera delay.
Yeah, I mean, it was the best audience of the tour so far, honestly.
Definitely.
Most musical. Very, very cool.
Do you have an extra song? Nope.
Play one again? We could go out there and play a jazzy bass solo.
Screaming encore.
They're not stopping.
No, it doesn't.
Go ahead, guys. Just do it.
This is no joke, this has not happened on this tour so far.
Luckily, each one of us had some nice family time on this tour. Naturally, in everybody's hometown. Our show is not just a lot of music by some of the best musicians in the world.
Look at all these amazing people tonight. Wow. They're everywhere.
It also has a lot of fun and comedy on stage.
A lot of people are wondering what your job is, aside from being Bill Burr impersonator.
You are wondering what I'm doing here, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm wondering.
I can press a lot of buttons. For example, my favorite one. It's just me.
Wow.
Yeah, basically do all the lights.
Okay, so it looks a bit harder than playing bass, of course.
You can try,
but
give it a try.
I can try. How about maybe this one? All right.
Well, give it up for Bernd on the lights.
Yeah, thank you very much.
On top of that, Bernd let me have my moment on stage and doing a special lighting solo. Let's have a look how that went.
Since Charles played so many bass solos, I played a lot of guitar solos, and even Sebastian did an awesome drum solo. How about we have the world's very first light solo?
This is basically every time Bernd has a dramatic video on YouTube, it starts like this. That's the original song.
It's definitely the best lighting desk solo I've ever seen. It's also the only lighting desk solo I've ever seen. But
Ola Englund and his band always started the night with a great and heavy set.
There's some stupid heavy metal head playing before, and it's just noise.
Since I myself operated the lights and videos for the Bernth and Charles show from stage, obviously my control desk was on stage. My technician and friend Martin, yes, his name is also Martin, was doing the lights for Ola, so he had to be part of the show on stage as well. For some reason it looked amazing and he was pretty much the fourth band member on stage. Some people even thought he's the keyboard player. But we also had some visits of some legends. We had Bradley Hall at the show in London who joined Ola for a song on stage.
Where is he? I don't know where he is. Where is he? There he is! It's Bradley Hall, everyone. Famous YouTuber. But we're gonna play this blues song called Blues McBluesface and then pay close attention to Bradley. Thank you so much.
And moreover, we had a special visit from Sami from the band Creator, who actually recorded a song with Bernth in the dressing room.
Yes, and also to see the show, of course, and the house was packed and it was an amazing experience.
You said the first time you were here you were 17?
I had troubles to get in, of course. You know, you have to show your ID.
So that was like 10 years ago, right?
Exactly.
It's the oldest club in Finland, and it's very nice. I like it a lot. This is Martin.
I'm just checking my new in-ears.
We're in Finland, in Helsinki, at the club Tavastia, and we got a small club as a backstage and the big club for the stage. I was here with my family and it had minus 40 degrees.
Well,
I loved it. Favorite YouTuber, you have one?
Well, Berthoud, of course.
And now he's rehearsing for the tour. Now he's rehearsing for the show.
I don't know so many of them, but all of a sudden they just kept on showing on my feed, you know. But it's like amazing musicians, and it's like fun to watch, and it's an inspiration to practice, really. Yeah.
You were an inspiration for all of them, I guess. Bernth was listening to Creator a lot when he was a kid.
That's very strange.
Why?
Well, inspirations start going everywhere then. That's nice.
Thank you so much, Sami, for joining us. We had a great time with you. Every day before actually opening the doors of the venue, we did the meet and greet VIP session on stage and in the audience with the guests. When we did our first tour last year, it was only me and Bernth on stage. This time we had Sebastian Lanzer and Charles Berthoud, and Charles' very professional sounding sophisticated British accent, great addition to Bernth and my Austrian sounding English.
Now that we just arrived in England, my true accent comes out. Yeah, you're right, we're about to play a show right now. Gonna do a quick Q&A, bit of bass, bit of guitar, you know how it goes. Should get some good questions, hopefully. Should be a pretty nice little sesh going on here.
We always started with a rig run-through where we explained our gear, and the guests were allowed to ask Charles, Bernth and Ola all the questions. The three of them spent 2 hours of great quality time with the guests, and some of the questions were less obvious than other ones. So how was the show?
I think overall, to be very diplomatic, I've been pleasantly surprised by every show.
That's diplomatic. Let me show you some parts of the concerts. Big show with humor and interactions. 99% of the people loved it. 1% they were like, "That's what matters." This show, but I'm coming next time again.
Yeah, I'll hit it then too.
Yes.
All right, let's get to the next competition.
Today we're playing a show in
Prague.
Today we're playing a show in
Prague.
So we just turned our audience into a drum kit and got them to play some complex polyrhythms.
And it actually sounds really, really cool. Check it out.
So now we're going to try and combine these two things. So you guys are doing the chord notes, and we're doing the quintuplets, but at the same time. Let's do this.
That's pretty good. Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
But what about the fourth guy here on stage?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sebastian Lanzer on the drums.
Hey, it's Sebastian Lanzer. I play drums on the Escape the Internet tour, which is quite a lot of fun.
What's this for?
I use a lot of baby powder. I put
Really?
this on the pedal.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And what does it do?
No,
So it's a joke?
no, it's not a joke.
Really? I still don't know.
Sometimes the floor gets really sticky, and it will make my feet glued to the pedal, which I don't want. So the only thing avoiding this.
Well, since I'm operating the lights, this is a great drum set to illuminate, especially for your drum solo. Your drum solo is one of a kind. We feature it every night on the LED wall. That masterpiece. I still didn't get it, but maybe at the end of the tour.
It's not that hard.
That's what she said. Sebastian Lanzer on the drums, ladies and gentlemen.
Soon it's going to be over.
I can relate to this because, I mean, if you're like on a mission, on a tour, then we're all together and we're all in this together, but then everybody goes home to different parts of the world and you keep texting in the group for a couple of weeks maybe, and then it just silence, and then everybody does their thing, and you never know if you're gonna see each other again, especially if there's so many people from different parts of the world and cities and everything. So yeah, that makes me sad as well, because you get close and you become friends and then drive apart. Yeah.
But there'll be more tours in the future, so
I hope so.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see a lot of the same people again.
Well, that was the Escape the Internet tour. Thank you so much, and I hope we see you next time, and thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh.